Welcome to Tuesday, October 3rd, 2023. Your Day Weather Podcast brought to you by Cowboy State Daily, Wyoming's only statewide newspaper. Get your free digital subscription by hitting the subscribe button on cowboystatedaily.com. Colder and unsettled weather will be across all of the Intermountain West and the High Plains region today. The Pacific trough of low pressure is finally now along the divide and will be going through the divide and into the plains later today. It's taken better than a week for this system to go from the Pacific Northwest to where it is now, just a real slow-moving pattern. Yesterday afternoon and evening, quite a bit of shower and thunderstorm activity developed ahead of the trough, out across the plains, front range areas, and now that the trough is overhead, we'll see mountain snow showers today, scattered showers on the plains. It's going to be kind of a mixed basket of weather. There'll be areas of sunshine today, but also showers and brisk winds and certainly noticeably cooler temperatures. The trough clears out, and Wednesday will be a fair day, just a cool, dry day. Temperatures down, but the sun will come back out. Then we've got this Canadian cold push coming right out of north-central Canada into the north-central United States with the western edge of the colder air pushing against the continental divide. Now, there's not much moisture with this front, but as it pushes through, some low clouds and a little bit of shower activity in that Thursday, Friday time frame will be a possibility. Now, the models do disagree on how cold it will be, and I'll show you that here in a minute. But for you gardeners out there that have extended your gardens, definitely need to watch overnight Friday and the Saturday morning for possible frost freeze conditions in some areas that really haven't had that yet, or at least a strong one. But improving weather will develop just in time for the weekend. Nice autumn weekend coming up. It'll be cool, crisp, but sunny and actually very, very nice before the next change in the weather comes mid to late next week. Here's a shot. We don't get many photos out of the Mount Shasta area. Thanks, Steve, for sending that. A cool cloud there over Mount Shasta as the air goes up and rises along Mount Shasta there. You'll get a cloud to form at times, and that cloud taking on the shape of the wind flow as well as it goes over on top. The satellite imagery this morning, you can see as we give you the animated loop here, the real active area of showers and thunderstorms ahead of this trough out here. The center of the low is now just over far eastern Idaho, western areas of Wyoming. So this cool, moist air mass associated with the system is going to slowly track east-northeast like this today. And you can see it's just right on top of the region by noon today. So this will give us clouds, shower activity, and cooler weather. This is where the shower activity will be today. Early today, there'll be a concentration of heavier showers and thunderstorms across North Dakota out into the plains. But you can see back here across north-central Wyoming, back over northwestern Wyoming, Yellowstone Park, the Wind River Mountains, the Tetons, eastern areas of Idaho. Going to be wintry up into these areas here with mountain snow, showers across the lower elevations, and cool, brisk conditions. Northwest flow on the backside of the system will produce showers over the southern mountains of Wyoming and northern Colorado during the course of the day today through evening, and many of those will be in the form of snow showers, but not too much activity along the front range and out on into the plains. And this is where the snow will be over the next 48 hours. Most of this happens over the next 24 to 36 hours. As we get to Thursday and Friday, high pressure gets established. The trough that's overhead now merges with this trough in Canada. So the winds aloft are going to be coming in from the north-northwest. And this little wrinkle right here in the flow is going to help grab some colder air here and push it southeastward like this. And as it comes on in, and you'll see here on the next slide, see that push right there? This causes that tail to form. And when you see a tail like this on these surges coming out of Canada, just think of the colder air comes in like this right behind that tail there. So that tail is going to push westward a pocket of colder air. It's going to get pushed up along the divide, then directed south and east as it spills into the nation's midsection, giving a lot of the country a real taste of fall here by later in the week and the weekend. But this high here in the west will come on in behind it. This is allowing that colder air easy access into the northern plains and the east slopes of the Rockies. As we loop the temperature anomaly, this starts on Thursday and goes through Sunday. And you can see where the cold air is going to go. You can see it sliding down the Rockies, out into the plains, and ending up all the way to the Gulf Coast by Sunday. But if you notice, the green and the blue cold colors are replaced by some orange colors there by the weekend. So the cold air is going to be transient. It's not going to hold. It's going to get shifted off to the east. But as it backs up and comes in, we will have some colder temperatures. These are the overnight low temperatures by Friday morning. So you can see freezing temperatures up here into Montana, southern areas of Canada, a cool morning across elsewhere, but nothing too cold. But as the deeper cold air comes in by Saturday morning, these are the forecasted overnight lows on the Canadian model, going well below freezing across the Dakotas, across eastern Montana, most of Wyoming into northeastern Colorado, Nebraska, even down into Kansas. Now, the Canadian model is the coldest of all the solutions. But here's a little bit of a hint. The Canadian model is really good at analyzing cold air. You wonder why? Well, there's good reasons for it, obviously. But the other models aren't nearly as cold. Look at the American model. This is the Canadian model. The GFS model actually doesn't show any freezing at all. How could you have such a big difference between two models that actually use the same data to get initialized? Well, in this situation, you want to defer to the model that's where the source region of the air is coming from. Will it be as cold as what we're showing here? Probably not. Will it be as warm as this? Probably not. Somewhere in between, which does mean overnight Friday and the Saturday morning, areas of frost and light freeze conditions across the high plains will be a possibility. But by the weekend, here comes a high pressure ridge, broad but pretty large. Colder weather heads into the Great Lakes, the Northeast with that low, while we end up with some nice weather and really some nice weather conditions for the weekend. A nice autumn weekend coming on up. Enjoy it. By late next week, this is by next Thursday into Friday, is the next trough coming in. We'll see where it goes. Don't know if it's going to take on this configuration or not, but the weather pattern is certainly looking active again mid to late next week. Have yourself a good Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow.